All right, thank you everyone for joining the call for summer 2021 release. My name is Anshuman Vaidya. I'm your Market Simulation Coordinator, and today is July 1st. Calls and webinars are recorded for stakeholder convenience, allowing those who are unable to attend to listen to the recordings after the meetings. The recordings will be publicly available on the ISO webpage for a limited time following the meetings. The recordings and any related transcription should not be reprinted without the ISO permission. We'll follow the following agenda today. We'll talk about map stage availability, talk about different initiatives and their timelines. We'll talk about the initiatives separately, a quick reminder for the system interface changes, and we'll talk about the next steps. Currently, we don't have any map stage maintenance scheduled, and you can always log into portalmap.kaiso.com to get up-to-date information regarding the map stage, any maintenance that's going to go on. Any questions regarding map stage availability? All right, moving on. So yesterday we had summer 2021 readiness phase 3 and resource adequacy enhancements track 1 phase 2 went live on production June 30. We are also actually going through one of the QRB for OMS changes for resource adequacy enhancement track 1. The QRB is actually going on right now in parallel with this meeting. And we hope to hear about the results in some time, I hope during this meeting itself. For export wheeling and load scheduling priorities project under the summer 2021 readiness, we were hoping to have the market simulation by 7/7, but currently we see some risk to be able to match that market simulation date. I'm not ready yet to decommit to this date as of now, but I'll have more information by Tuesday. I'll stop for any questions if anybody has any.
Anshuman, this is Ray calling from PG&E. Thanks for confirming about the RA track 1 about the OMS changes. I just want to know, since the code is active in map stage, has it been active all day since this morning?
That is correct.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Hi, Anshuman. This is Chanyu from PG&E. Question on the statement you just made that you see some risk to starting the testing for 7/7 for the export wheeling and load scheduling priorities. Do you mind sharing what kind of risk that you're seeing and what it potential would delay to?
So Chanyu, what we're seeing right now is we have not received totally satisfactory code from our vendor. We have raised these concerns with them, and we're hoping to get fixes for those for the full code, and hopefully we'll get it by next week. And then we'll need some time to finish our end-to-end testing before we can, start releasing this code to market participants.
Okay, so you are receiving the code next week, so assuming the earliest it's the 6th. And it's going to take you some time for testing, maybe a couple of days or a day. So just want to get a gauge as when the testing you think it might be happening. The 8, the 9, yeah.
Ashwin, if you don't mind, let me intervene here. So Chinu, it looks like we are not seeing the progress on this testing, the progress we expected, given that upcoming, target date to start the market simulation. It would be us speculating on when we're going to get the, fixes from our vendor. They might work over the weekend, they might do other things. So that's why it's difficult to kind of make a new plan until we know more. This is kind of very recent information we got from the team that's testing that code. And we wanted to share with the intent of full transparency, we want to share that kind of risk with you as soon as possible. So that's why we mention it here. But it's difficult for us to kind of make or anticipate when. Probably by Tuesday, when after the holiday, when we have the market simulation call, we'll know more, and we can tell you if we can start on the 7.7, which is kind of a probability on the low side right now, and what is our next proposal for how this market simulation should take place and when we should go live with it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the explanation. And right, so hopefully by next Tuesday we'll learn more from you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Noah from Middle River Power. Just wondering, following up on that, can you talk a little bit about the specifics of the software, given that it seems it's overlapping to different systems? Is there a specific system that you're asking for the vendor, or whereas is it partial, or is it all of the systems that you're not getting the code on?
Is the market. Okay,
so there are portions of the changes with regards to whether it be OMS or CIRA and cyber and so on. It seems like it's the cyber and then the market software that's not ready yet.
No, I think the defects we're seeing right now are on the market side, but
okay.
We are doing this end-to-end. That's the point of this end-to-end, to see how all those applications behave as a system and exchange data, and for us to validate the end-to-end works before we expose the code and functionality to you. So at this point, I can't be 100% sure that the other system are perfect.
Okay.
We haven't discovered yet any problems, but the reports we get from our testing team is on the market side.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, just trying to get some clarification. And so if the simulation or structure simulation starts to get pushed out, do you expect the go live date to also get pushed out?
It's possible. We only have 6, 7, 8 days from that 7/7 to July 15, which is what FERC approved and our current FERC deadline.
Sure.
So not sure if we need to converse with you, because you have to be ready for that one too. From our perspective, probably we can fix that. Let's say we can run, a possible scenario would be, we execute structure scenarios on the 10th. Would that be enough for you to go live on the 15th? We need to have those conversations with you, because we need to understand what are all the dependencies, and if you have enough time to test and feel comfortable about it. But it's possible that we can move that date out, and we're gonna probably inform our legal and seek advice from them too for that possibility.
Okay, appreciate that. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adrian, for the explanation. Any other questions? Anybody has any other questions that we can talk about here?
Hey, Anshuman, it's Ray again. Just a follow-up on the QRB. Do you see anything that will be a roadblock, or do you think it will just go smoothly and it'll be approved for the QRB for the RA OMS testing?
Right. Currently, I don't see any roadblocks. We see a clean road ahead, but I would not be able to speak for the QRB voting members as of now. So I would wait for their decision to come forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A follow-up question, Anshuman, this is Chun-Yu. So the QRB ends at 2:30 or 3?
I believe it's 2 to 3, but we will have some agents, who can jump over to this meeting and let us know.
Right. So you're going to, right after that, you're going to let us know whether it's passed, we can formally begin, or is that how the communication going to go?
I was hoping that I would be able to communicate at least by the end of this meeting.
Okay.
If that doesn't happen, as soon as I receive any information, I will send out emails.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions that we can discuss here? All right, moving on. This is just a scenario description, so the export wheeling and load scheduling priorities and the OMS changes that are coming in. Anybody has any questions regarding the description?
This is Kyle with SRP. I have a question from our group. The question was for scenario 8, there's a reference to report that you're supposed to use to check the results in CMRI. Which report is that in CMRI that we're supposed to use?
I have that information, Kyle. I don't have it in front of me right now, but what I will do is I will update the test case and I will post it by today. Is that okay?
You'll update the test case and post it today? Okay.
Yeah, and I will send you a screenshot. If you can send me an email at marketsim@kaiso.com, I will send you a screenshot of the screen where you can review the results.
Kaiso.com. Okay, I could do that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Anshuman. This is Chunyu. I do have a follow-up question. So I know that we've been waiting for this, and now you do not know when will be the trade day to execute the scenario 8. Just want to know if you know the trade hours, or is that you're going to wait till next week to announce this information?
So to determine on the hours, we were hoping that our end-to-end testing will go well, and then we'll know more about which times would be more suitable for us to simulate this scenario. And since we are still testing, I wouldn't be able to tell you the exact time as of now, Chunyu.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I guess we'll probably ask the question again in the next call. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions that we can discuss here?
Yeah, hey, this is Noah Tao from Middle River Power again. With regards to scenario 9, I think we had a question with regards to outages on an hourly basis that vary in the outage impact. How the SIRA system seems to only take in as its full day. Have you guys given thought to how that would be managed on an hourly basis on the pro rata side or the non-pro rata side, I guess, within SIRA?
Let me see if anybody from Kaiso wants to take that question. Do we have the SIRA SME here with us right now?
Yeah, hi, Anshuman. This is Firdaus. Noah, can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, so in from the training, the ISO showed sort of a screen capture of the SIRA system for scheduling coordinators to allocate, the RA versus non-RA impacted amounts due to an outage, right? And my question at the time was, outages that last greater than 1 hour and vary, on an hourly basis in megawatts, how do we indicate that in one outage ticket, for this allocation, particularly for this scenario 9?
Okay, so in that case, SIRA system will consider only one number throughout the day, and it will take the max curtailment. So as an example, for if you have like 20 megawatt is the max curtailment for one availability point, and everywhere else is less than 20. So for the full day, it will show you the 20 megawatt is the curtailment. So technically what system is doing, the max curtailment of the day.
So there's no so there's no ability to allocate on a sort of hourly basis a different ratio to RA versus non-RA. It is sort of somewhat of a binary fixed, or a fixed value rather, for the whole day.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, got it. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Perfect. Thank you for the question. I would like to share the good news. We have just received a QRV approval for resource adequacy enhancement OMS changes, and it's an official go to start the market simulation.
Thank you, Engineer.
Right. Sure. Any other questions that we can discuss here? All right, moving on. This slide is just showing more information regarding the summer 2021 readiness, the business requirement specification document and structured scenario documents link. We already discussed about risk in performing the market simulation scenarios on July 7th. We're still debating that, and we'll have more information by next week. Any questions for this project that we can talk about here? All right, moving on. For resource adequacy enhancements track 1, we have a QRB approval, and we can start market simulation testing today for the OMS changes that are available now. The business requirement specification documentation and structured scenario documentation links are available here on the slide if you need more information. Any other questions that we can talk about for this particular project? All right, we can move on. We have OMS summer release timeline. As you know that we have just deployed our code for our enhancements track 1 OMS changes. That makes most of these line items to be checked. This code piece also delivers a few OSI 2021 enhancement pieces, so you should see those features live too. Any questions regarding these particular changes that I just went live to map stage? All right, moving on. I'm sorry, I mentioned system interface changes, but these are OMS summer release timeline and the OMS changes. So any questions for the OMS changes? All right, moving on to the system interface changes. Trang, do you have any updates for system interface changes?
Hi, thanks, Instrument. So I think the only thing, so this aligns with the OMS availability that we talked about earlier. And I think there's one thing to note for production too for summer readiness is that for the OASIS change, we did deploy that to production yesterday, although that report is not active yet. So just for those that are following along with that, we wanted to be clear and distinguish this between the deployment and activation for that report in case you're looking there. Okay. Otherwise, no major changes.
Hi, Trang, this is Chunyu. Can I ask that OASIS report, what is the issue? And also, when do you plan to activate it?
So the activation date is still TBD. And 1 second. Sorry, so we don't have a target for the activation at this time. And for the issue, there is an there's an issue that was found to a different report that we are working to address that before we activate. So the code, the activation of this report and the change in the data would impact data on an existing report. So we found that issue in testing, and we want to resolve that and retest that and eliminate that issue from the existing report that's introduced as part of this activation before we move forward.
So let me make sure I understand. So that report of what it says here, the schedule by type. So nothing wrong with that report. It's something wrong with a different report that existing that
yes,
it needs to be fixed. Okay. And
that is correct.
Then I don't understand why this report is not being activated.
So Chanyu, I'm happy to provide, to have the team provide additional details to you. Maybe I don't have the defect details right in front of me, but my understanding is that the activation of this indirectly impacts data that is going to an existing report, and that's what we want to address before we activate this. But my understanding is that there's no issue with this report itself.
Yeah, if you can provide the information, even for, on this presentation, that will be very helpful so we understand what is the issue and when it's what we shall looking for. When we start, our deployment is also began for the report, and we will feel like this is more of the transparency that will be provided by CAISO that will be very helpful for us. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Chanyu.
Thank you, Chanyu and Trang. Any other questions regarding system interface changes?
Yes, hi, this is Tony Gerard from Power Settlement. Just to piggyback on Chanyu's questions and comments, is there potential that the other report that's affected may require some additional updates or changes, or is this all in the back end? Because just to plan for deployment, we can deploy as well and not have active, but I'm just trying to anticipate if there's potential for additional interface changes.
Yeah. Thank you, Tony. That's a really good question. I don't have the details on what that fix is at this point, and the impacts of that to or potential impacts to the user's implementation of the existing report. So I'll take that back with the project team and the SMEs, kind of get a better understanding of what the issue is, what the anticipated fix and potential impacts are, and then we'll report back out on that hopefully by Tuesday's call. I don't anticipate that this report would be activated by then, so we'll give an update on Market Sim's call on Tuesday, if not sooner.
Okay.
Okay,
thanks
you for the question. Yep.
Thank you for the question, Tony. Any other questions? All right, moving on. That's all I had for today's teleconference. I have scheduled the next teleconference on July 6th. It's a Tuesday. It's not our regular time, but it's after the vacation holiday on 5th of July. Any other questions that we can talk about here?
Yes, hi, Anshuman. This is Chanyu. I did just check the calendar, and thank you for schedule the July 6th call. Can you also extend the call to the 15th?
We will do so, yes. We were just talking about it here, and we will extend the calls to July 15th.
Thank you. That's good to know.
Thank you. Any other questions? Well, all right. Thank you, everyone, for joining the call. And just to repeat again, we have received the QRB approval, so please go ahead with your testing. All right. See you back again on July 6th on this call. Bye.